Everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns. I was away for basically a week and a half, so there was really no videos going on for a little while there. You may have noticed if you're a regular viewer. I'm back now, so we're going to get right back into making videos. That's what I do. So to kick things off, the first video we're going to do is a Cybergun Airsoft video. Now all the guns we're going to look at today are Airsoft pistols. They're distributed through Cybergun, but they're all made by KWC. You might ask, well, what's the difference? Cybergun does not make the guns. They're a distributor and they license different names. So for instance, on these guns, you'll see Colt, you'll see Taurus, you'll see Sig Sauer. They have purchased the rights to put those names on these guns. And so what happens is Cybergun places an order with KWC, has KWC put all the branding and licensing on these guns for them because they hold the license, not KWC. When we're looking at KWC distributed guns, it's a different story. Generally speaking, they won't have any licensing on the KWC distributed guns because they don't hold the licenses for those names. Now, because all of these guns are distributed through Cybergun, they're probably going to have orange or red tips on them because Cybergun is a US-based company, or at least where we get them from. So what happens is Cybergun orders them from KWC. They ship them from Taiwan, I believe. They come to the US, they have to have the orange tips because most of the resellers in the US are buying them from Cybergun. But then companies like us who are in Canada then purchase them, bring them over into Canada. They just happen to have orange tips. Now if you want to take those tips off, that's totally up to you because we don't need them here in Canada. Alright, so first off, you'll see we have a lot of these Colts, these 1911s. And you may have noticed that I have done similar videos with this gun already. You might be, why are you redoing this video? Well, this is the BB gun version, right? So this is the BB gun version, and it's going to look like this 1911 railgun here. Identical, really. It's just a different caliber. This is BB, right? And this one here is going to be Airsoft. Now, the nice thing about the BB guns is they don't, again, have to have the orange tips. So even though these are Cybergun distributed, they're BB, so they're 4.5 millimeter steel BB. They don't have to have orange tips. I've also got another similar gun to the Taurus at the top there. This is a BB gun. I've reviewed this in BB version already for you guys. Now this is kind of like a preview, a little bit of an unboxing. Not sure if I'm going to be doing much in the way of shooting these guns. I think I might test a few of them out to see how they perform because I have shot a lot of BB versions of these guns already and even some Airsoft versions. Maybe not the ones with all of this bling going on, but I have shot the Taurus PT92s. I have shot the Tanfoglio Witness in Airsoft, the Colts, all of those guns. I've shot them before in videos, but we might revisit that anyways. Okay, so let's quickly take a look in the box. I don't know if I'll show you all of them. Probably will. Why not? So here we have the Taurus, right? It's literally identical to the BB version except for you're going to have the orange tip. Simulated wood grips. Wish this magazine was color matched, but it's just probably the way that they manufacture it. A little bit too hard to do that. Sort of has that stainless look, and then the brushed metal and stainless, right, going on. Full blowback operation, just like any of the other KWC PT92s, right? Really nice gun, awesome. Let's take a look at something else here on the table. All right, we'll start at the top right here, the 1911 railgun. Now all of these are going to be pretty much identical, just different colorations. So you can see here, we have this sort of almost like a matte black. It's actually really quite nice. It's like a brushed metal in a way. It looks really good. Hopefully you can see that. Really nice. Blacked out barrel going on. Again, just like any other Tanfoglio Witness 1911 or KWC 1911, just different cosmetics, and this one happens to be Airsoft. I do kind of like this matte black version for sure. Alright, let's look at the Colt 1911 with the two-tone going on here. Don't worry about the manuals and stuff. Again, this is just a preview. I might do dedicated videos on them, but they're kind of all the same, you know. It's like I've done so many videos on these guns. They're all just slightly different cosmetics. Some are steel BB, some are plastic Airsoft, right? You got the silver barrel in this one, right? Breech and barrel. Two-tone, right? So you've got the blacked out frame and the basically stainless looking slide. Alright, one more gun here real quick. Probably one of my favorites is this all stainless version. I kind of like it, you know, with the all metal, stainless, right? Got the stainless brushed slide, right? And then it's almost like a sandblasted type finish on the frame. Simulated wood grips. These ones are more color matched than the PT92, just because of basically the magazine doesn't stick out. Not sure why they weren't able to do it with the PT92, but really nice guns. Again, all full blowback. You got a little bit of two-tone going on here with the black sights, white dot sights. Really nice guns. All of these guns have been super popular, no matter what version, KWC, whether they're basic 1911 like the government 1911, or whether they're more of a tactical version, or I mean, they've just been super popular in all shapes and forms. Absolutely. So, quickly want to show you two more guns while we're at it. They're again Cybergun guns, airsoft versions, and you'll notice we have this X5 P226 X5. It's really very similar to this X5, but it just has the more adjustable sights going on. And it's also stainless and got the simulated wood grip. So, but really, it's the same gun as the as the BB version, and this one comes in airsoft, I believe, as well, or it has at least in the past. They've come in different forms, different versions, but I've reviewed all of these guns at one point or another. And then we have the SP2022, another Sig, right? And the difference here is this one's BB and it has a metal magazine, whereas this one here, the airsoft version, for some reason doesn't have a metal magazine. I'm not really sure why. This version also has, I believe, it may have a metal slide. It's kind of hard to tell. It's definitely, yeah, it's got a metal slide because I can feel it. It's cold. So we have a metal slide and we have a metal magazine. We have a plastic frame, but it gives this gun good weight, okay? So the BB version that I'm showing you here is a little nicer than the airsoft version that I'm going to show you. Alright, let's start with the SP2022. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's really light. Like, it's strikingly light. It feels like a toy, okay? I'm not going to lie. The magazine is plastic. The slide is plastic. The frame is plastic. That said, it looks good. If you're holding it in your hand, it looks the same. Now, as a backup airsoft pistol, it might be a good option because, it fires quick. The trigger's really quite light. It's not blowback or anything, but it's light. You could buy probably these magazines pretty cheap because they're plastic. The gun's super light, so it's not going to weigh you down at all. So, sometimes if you've got a big heavy gun and you're carrying that around and you got your main rifle and, all of these things holding you back, extra magazines, weight matters. So sometimes in that situation, having a lighter sidearm, backup gun, and you can really fire, like I said, the trigger is really good for a double action trigger. It's going to work just fine. So, I might want to test this one out because sometimes when you test out these cheaper guns that feel cheap, they perform, exceptionally well, or they can. So maybe it's one of these guns that's a bit of a sleeper. You pick it up, you don't think much of it, but then you shoot it and you're like, whoa, this thing really fires well. So we'll give that a try maybe in the range at some point here. All right, let's take a look at the X5, the P226. So this is definitely a nice gun. You've got your two-tone, right? All your Sig branding, licensing, simulated wood grips. They've color matched the magazine, which is nice. So you've got, adjustable sights as well that are two-tone. The blacked out barrel, okay, and breech. You do have the red tip, but that can be removed with a little, TLC. Nice gun. Color matched mag. I do like the fact that it's adjustable because, if you're shooting airsoft, you want this thing to be adjusted to range, for range and for elevation and windage and everything. That's going to be important. You're going to want to be able to hit what you shoot at, right? Really quite nice. Okay. Alright, that wraps up this preview / unboxing video for these Cybergun Airsoft Pistols, all made by KWC again. If you're interested in purchasing these, we do sell them in our Canada Replica Airgun store, and I believe we also sell them in our US Replica Airgun store. So those stores are over at replicairguns.ca and replicairguns.us. So check out those stores for pricing. I don't like to mention pricing too much in videos because prices change all the time. And if you're watching this video maybe 2 years from now, the price is definitely not going to be the same as what I said in the video. You get what I'm saying. All right, so check out the links in the description. You can also go over to replicairguns.com. I'll put a link to a written article for this video where I'll also put links where you can buy these guns. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Until next time, take care.